Are you looking for a motherboard to support your Intel Skylake or Kaby Lake processor? Well, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Z270 Gaming Pro Carbon from MSI. This board is a mid-range board with a nice price of around £164 in the UK, $175 in the US. Is this the right motherboard for you? Let's find out now. So taking a look at the Z270 Gaming Pro Carbon from MSI, we've got a lot to look at the motherboard. This is a mid-range board, as I mentioned, around 164 quid in the UK or $175 in the US, depending on your retailer of choice. Obviously, I'll go through the board itself just so you can see what's on it. So we've got a very nice MOSFET heatsink, which has an 8+2 power phase design, so 8 for the CPU and 2 for the DRAM. It's got a very nice I/O shield top heatsink as well. The Southbridge heatsink also looks good. It's got MSI's carbon. It's got MSI carbon stickers on it. Obviously, with it being the Gaming Pro Carbon, it'd be nice to have the namesake of carbon on it. Looking at the DRAM slots, we've got a nice metal shielding around it. So MSI's painted metal shield. The DRAM, obviously, it supports DDR4. This board, Intel Skylake and Intel's Kaby Lake processors. Its memory, it supports up to 3,800 megahertz overclocked memory officially, but I imagine overclockers will be able to push that further. It supports XMP 2.0, so you can just obviously one-click your profile in and there you go. It also supports up to 64 gig of DDR4 as well, so you can have 16 gig per slot, which is quite nice. We've got your regular 8-pin CPU power, you've got your 24-pin or 20+4-pin ATX for your motherboard. Power supply to motherboard, we've got plenty of fan headers. We've got a CPU fan header, we've got 4 system fan headers, one here, and one down here as well. We've also got a pump fan header as well. You can use that as a fan or a pump, entirely up to yourself. We've got USB 3.0 front panel, so we've got a right angled one and we've also got a straight through one. In terms of SATA ports, we've got 6 times SATA 3 ports. This supports RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5 and RAID 10. We've got 4 right angled ones here and we also have 2 straight shooting ones at the bottom of the board as well. Not a big fan of the straight shooting ones, but it's okay in an open test environment, but in a case it can look a bit untidy. We've got 2 PCI times 16 slots which feature armor. We've also got one bare one at the bottom as well, so we've got 3 PCI times 16 slots in total, and we've got 3 PCIe times 1 slots as well. We've also got M.2 ports as well, so we've got 2 M.2 ports. We've got one towards the top here and we've got one towards the bottom here, which also has an M.2 shield on. One is supplied in the box. So obviously taking a look at the RGB, because this board obviously features MSI's Mystic Light RGB lighting. As you can see, I've been able to demo this with a USB cable. As you can see, it does look pretty good. The light mainly comes from the top heatsink on the I/O, the Southbridge, and it also has tracks and traces all the way down to the likes of the audio boost chip, which is Realtek's ALC 1220. So it's pretty standardized throughout the Z270 platform and chipset. But yeah, there isn't really much else going on in terms of, features. This is a mid-range board, so what you see is what you get. It's pretty basic. It's, as I mentioned, it's £164 in the UK, $175 in the US, and it does have a lot going for it. The I/O as well, obviously, it's got 4 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, 1 USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A. It's got 1 3.1 Gen 2 Type C. It's got a HDMI port and a DVD port for your onboard graphics. It's also got 7.1 channel audio with 3.5mm inputs and a SPDIF output. It's got a PS2 port for a keyboard and mouse, and it's got an RJ45 Ethernet port, obviously to connect it to your router or modem or whatever you want to connect it to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's about time we take a look and see how it performs in comparison with other boards we've tested, and then I'll give you my feedback. So yeah, the MSI Z270 Gaming Pro Carbon, to sum it up, is a really nice board. It's a really good board and it's very, very good value in my opinion. Obviously £164 in the UK, $175 in the US. EU, you're looking around 170 to 175 euros. So the price wise, it's, you know, it is a great value board for all the features that you get with it. All the components inside it and that are built around it are all obviously very good quality. Like I said, the 8+2 fat power phase design will power overclocks without any problems at all. Obviously, key features that I really like about this board is the dual M.2. Obviously, the likes of the RGB lighting is very good. Some people complain about RGB, they're not on the hype train. I'm obviously semi-objective about it. Obviously, it's nice to have on any motherboard, any component, because it allows you to customize it in a way that you want it, which I think a lot of people overlook, you know, especially with a motherboard. You know, if you change cases, you change, you know, your spec, but you want to keep the likes of your motherboard and your graphics card, it's nice to be able to color match it with other different types of components that you might, you know, buy in the future. For an Intel Kaby Lake board, Z270, and obviously it's got Skylake support as well, it's a pretty good, solid all-round board. It performs great, you know, it looks great, and it comes at a really nice price. Obviously, things that I'd improve on this board, for a start, the PCI 16 bottom lane, PCIe 6x16 bottom lane, should I say, sorry. It would be nice to have that metal armor, not because it makes too much difference, you know, it's quite aesthetic really, in my opinion. It'd be nice to match the rest of the PCIe slots. Another thing as well is obviously it has 6 SATA 3 ports, but 2 of them at the bottom are, you know, straight out. So obviously if you're going to use more than 4 ports, you've got to and you want a nice rig inside in terms of cable management. You're not really going to want to, you know, have cables sticking out the bottom. You want to reduce that as much as you can, and this obviously is going to be a problem for some. In terms of rear I/O, you know, there's plenty of USB 3 ports. All the 3.1 Type A and Type C are covered. So it has got great connectivity there. You know, it's got obviously HDMI and DVI-D for you on board, which is, you know, is really nice. Not that many enthusiast people are going to want to, you know, use on board, but it's great for troubleshooting, especially if your graphics card dies. You know, you've still got something to play with. Overall, I would say the MSI Pro Gaming, or should I say Gaming Pro Carbon, is a pretty solid board, and I'm going to give it our silver award today. Reasons why it's not got a gold award, obviously the bottom slot, as I said, you know, you could have 6 SATA ports. It doesn't have U2, but it does obviously pack 2 M.2 slots, which is fantastic. Anything above 2 M.2 slots is great in my opinion, because M.2 seems to be getting more popular and more popular. Prices have leveled out a bit now in terms of storage as well. And obviously in terms of, you know, software features, this board does kick up a lot, you know, with MSI's Dragon Center, you know, you've got the likes of, you can change the Mystic Light, the RGB, and obviously MSI Command Center, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, if you are in the market for a mid-range board, you want to spend under £200, then this is probably one of the boards that you should be considering. Rivals, the Maximus, the Asus Maximus, you know, Republic of Gamers Hero, you know, it's obviously more expensive. So obviously in terms of price, it's apples and oranges. You do get great performance. You know, it has got plenty of features. It's not overpriced, which some boards have been, that I've seen on the Z270. There is room for maneuver on price, but 164 quid is not going to really be beaten in this type of board, and it is a winner there. So it does get our value award, so it just gets silver and value. So it is a great board, and if you're in the market for a new Z270 motherboard, then make sure you check out the MSI Z270 Gaming Pro Carbon. I've been Gavin. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Is this the type of motherboard that you would buy? Have you already bought a Z270 motherboard and you think that you probably want this one instead, or you got buyer's envy? Please let us know in the comments below. But yeah, Thanks for watching, guys. Check us out in our next video, and ciao for now.